except where them hands, where them holes, where them throws, you know what I'm saying?
This is why I train in martial arts. First of all, shout out to any teacher I've had in my education years who taught me the thing of compare and contrast. We're going to compare and contrast two situations. One where it was okay for an African American male to use force to defend his family, and the other where it was not okay for an African American male to use force to defend his family. Now, when I say okay, I'm talking about legally, not morally. I'm talking about legally. Because when it comes time for you to use your martial arts skills, you have to think about legally, or is it okay for you to do so? Not necessarily morally is it okay for you to do so. Why? Because even if we feel like someone may have deserved whatever's happening to them, and people may feel like it's okay for you to roundhouse to kick that person in the head, none of us are going to be there to pay for your legal fees. None of us are going to be bailing you out of jail. You're going to have to figure that out on your own. So again, let's look at these two situations where someone's defending their family so you can think about, what am I involved here? And is this a situation where it's okay for me to defend myself using my martial arts skills or not? Now, let's be clear. Sometimes when things hit the fan, you got to do what you got to do. But if we think about it ahead of time, maybe the hope is, in my opinion, that we may be able to save ourselves some pain in the future. So let's take a look. Situation number one, where it was okay to use lethal force, legally.
Heard the commotion. He rushed out from his hallway and saw the man hitting his 11-year-old son.
I admit I blanked out for a while. I probably scared my kids too, because I just kept hitting the guy. And I could hear them saying, someone call 911.
Citrus Heights police responded within 5 minutes and took the man into custody.
He was out cold, unresponsive. The paramedics tried to get him to wake up and respond. He was just out.
Police aren't releasing the man's identity yet and can't say if he was on drugs or had mental health problems. The father of 4 says his door was unlocked at the time because his children had just taken the trash out. He later posted these photos of the man, one of him entering his home and the other with him being taken out on a stretcher.
He definitely picked the wrong house to come into.
Tucker says he wants this to serve as a warning to other homeowners.
Definitely get you something inside your home to protect yourself, whether it's mace or firearm.
The father of 4 says his focus now is getting his sons through the trauma of being attacked.
Looking into try and get them at least a little bit of therapy so they can talk about it and not be afraid and scared, because your home is supposed to be your sanctuary.
In Citrus Heights, Roxanne Elias, ABC 10.
Wow, just a powerful story. Now, police say Tucker did nothing wrong in responding the way he did. They say it is a resident's right to protect themselves and their family. The alleged intruder will face felony assault and burglary charges.
Situation number 2, where the judge, who was not there, decided that it was not okay for a person to use lethal force.
All right, fam. All right. This is one 41-year-old New Jersey husband who was sentenced to 3 years behind bars after fatally punching an uncivilized mutt who had been harassing his family with racial slurs for months. Anthony Collins is his name. He pled guilty to manslaughter over an assault that took place September 18, 2023. Anthony and his wife were leaving a store when 70-year-old Robert May purposely ran his bike into Collins's wife. I said purposely ran his bike into Collins's wife. According to court documents, May had repeatedly harassed Collins and his children, calling them racial slurs. Collins punched May, causing him to fall to the ground, where he lay unresponsibly unresponsive, with blood coming from his head and mouth. He would later regain conscious and went home after refusing medical assistance. However, police were told that he was acting erratic after the fall, so he was taken to a hospital where he died. An autopsy determined the cause of death to be blunt force trauma, and the manner of death was homicide. Collins argued that his actions were justified self-defense after having to deal with May's constant racial attacks. However, the judge argued that Collins was much younger and stronger than May, and that Collins should have called police instead. Collins is required to serve almost 31 months of the sentence before he is eligible for parole. He's already been in jail for 8 months. So in 2 years, he'll be back home. Okay, question, fam. Question. Do you think that Anthony Collins was justified in knocking out Robert May? Do you think he was justified in knocking Robert May on his ass?
So why is one okay and one not okay? This is just my guess. So like I said, this you got to consider this a guess because I am not an attorney. I'm not even a police officer. I teach martial arts part-time. It's not even my full-time job. It's my part-time job. And I'm appealing to civilians. So I'm guessing civilian that if someone's violating your home and it's immediate physical hard threat and you use your martial arts skills to dispatch that person, that will be allowed. In the other incidents, because it didn't seem like there was immediate physical hard threat. Now, I'm not saying I agree with what the racist did. I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm not saying it's okay and that I approve of people threatening other people's families. But because there was not an immediate hard physical threat, then legally they said, no. You cannot do that. So I guess what we can learn, and I'm not even saying that I like this. I'm just saying this is how it is, okay? Hard physical threat, immediate threat right then and there. Kia, okay? Not, let's fall back on our tenets and try to resolve things. And then if something escalates after that, then and only then do we resort to force. So thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please share with people like to talk about the martial arts and peace. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And there is, I'm not going to go into that point. I will say this, we cannot always control the outcome of what something's going to happen when we are being aggressive towards people. But unfortunately, in this legalistic society, if we are the recipients of an attack or aggression, I would say aggression, it may not necessarily be an attack, it's a tough burden. But the burden is going to be on us to try to respond appropriately. And in my opinion, they probably place a higher burden on you if you are a martial artist. Peace.